Okay, now let us talk about section 9 subsection 4. Now there is an amendment in this particular subsection. So this is section 9 subsection 4. Now what is this amendment? To understand this amendment, we need to understand what was the situation before the amendment. Okay, so before this amendment came into picture, the law said if there is a registered person, let us say this is registered person, let us call him as Mr. A. So if Mr. A is a registered person and if he is purchasing something from Mr. B, who is an unregistered person, then will Mr. B collect and pay tax? Answer is no, because he is a unregistered person. So Mr. B will not collect and pay the tax. So the law said instead of Mr. B, Mr. A has to pay tax. Mr. A has to pay tax on his purchases. Normally remember, GST is on your supplies. GST is when you actually sell the goods, sell the services. But in some cases, government can ask the recipient or the purchaser or the recipient of the service to pay the tax, and this was one of the situation. Wherever Mr. A purchased from anything from an unregistered person, Mr. A had to pay tax. They also give some relaxation. They said, in a day if you are purchasing less than 5,000 rupees item, you don't have to do that. So let us say on 1st of April 2020, Mr. A is purchasing item worth rupees 4,000 rupees. They said, oh, reverse charge is not applicable. But if on 2nd of April 2020, if Mr. A is purchasing item worth rupees, let us say 7,000 rupees, they said on this 7,000 rupees, Mr. A has to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism. And now remember, whenever I say reverse charge mechanism, it is Mr. A who has to directly pay tax to the government. So because of this particular provision, there was lot of backlash. There was a huge cry in the trade union. They said this provision is nonsense. As far as compliance is concerned, we cannot comply with this particular provision, because on a daily basis I need to see whether my purchase is more than 5,000 rupees, less than 5,000 rupees. I cannot comply with this particular section. So the lawmakers changed this section. They changed this section and they did not remove it, they replaced it with new provision. Now what is the new provision? New provision says earlier days this particular law applied to all the registered persons. It applied to whom? It applied to all the registered persons, who were purchasing from all unregistered persons, But now after the amendment, they removed the word all. So this particular provision is not applicable for all the registered person. It is applicable for few registered persons. Now comes the question, who are these registered persons? Whether should I study about these registered persons in my CA inter syllabus or in my IPCC syllabus? Answer is no. You don't have to study about these few registered persons for the purpose of your examination. But for the sake of knowledge, remember that these few registered persons are from real estate sector. So who are from real estate sector? Let us say that now this person is a builder. Now who is a builder? Builder is a person who undertakes construction work. So they said now section 9 subsection 4 is applicable for a builder. If he is purchasing anything from non-registered person, then the builder has to pay tax. Sir, earlier days there was some restrictions, there was some limitation of up to 5,000 rupees. Whether the same limitation is continuing here also? Answer is that 5,000 limit is not applicable here. But here they give a different types of limitation. They say the limitation is, or I might say limits. Is, let us say I am a builder who is constructing a building. I am Mr. A who is constructing a building, and the construction cost of this particular building is 10 lakh rupees. What is this 10 lakh rupees? It is the construction cost of this building, and the provision says out of this 10 lakh rupees of purchases, because I need to purchase the item worth rupees is 10 lakh. So they say out of this 10 lakh rupees, you need to make 80% of the purchase from registered persons. Balance 20% you purchase from unregistered persons, no problem. No problem. RCM is not applicable. RCM is not applicable. But if you purchase less than 80%, then this provision is applicable to you. For example, out of this 10 lakh rupees of purchases which I have to make, maybe of inputs or input services. Inputs as in I could purchase steel, I could purchase sand, I could purchase cement, all these things, out of which if I purchase less than 8 lakh rupees, let us say I purchased an item worth rupees of 7 lakh 50,000 from the registered persons and 2 lakh 50,000 from unregistered persons. Now, I should have purchased up to 8 lakh, but by mistake I purchased only up to 7 lakh 50,000. So what is the shortfall? I should have purchased how much? 8 lakh, but I purchased only 7 lakh 50,000. So shortfall is of 50,000 rupees. So on this 50,000 rupees, RCM is applicable under section 9 subsection 4. Well, I do understand that at C interstage you may feel this a little bit of complicated, but again let me remind you that this is not a part of your syllabus, so in examination they are not going to test you on this. So as far as RCM is concerned, this is RCM as far as real estate industry is concerned. There are also a couple of other reverse charge as far as this is concerned, but again as it is not included in your syllabus, let us not go into that.